here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to another Division 2 build video. Today, we're back with another bloody good build. That's right champions, we're going to be taking a look at a bloody regen build. Off some amazing feedback from our bloody Banshee video last week, I thought I'd give the regen version a try. Now, a quick shout out to Spillo for the inspiration on this one. It's as close as I could get to his version without needing to grind. I basically already had all the items, so I was really lucky. Gear-wise, there's nothing overly complicated with this build. This is another build that we haven't overindulged in expertise, that way you know the build's going to be suitable for lower SHD players and low expertise players. But remember champions, PvP is the true endgame, so getting your builds as optimized as possible is what you're really aiming to do. On this setup, we are rocking a solid 54% crit hit chance and 163% crit hit damage. We have sacrificed some damage from the Bleeding Banshee build version, but we have gained an insane amount of survivability. We're now sitting at 1.7 million in armor and our base regen is just over 70k. Now with our chest talent, we can get anywhere from a further 51k all the way up to 830,000 regen per second. I don't think you can really comprehend how insane this regen can be. From just one bleeding target, we can get a total of 121k regen. Or if we're in a situation where we have 5 bleeding targets around us, we can get 900k regen per second. Insane is the only word to describe it. Now, can you still die? Yes, of course you can. No build or player is unkillable. I'm still very new at using these types of builds, but with some practice, I think this could be one of my new faves. We are going to cut to some gameplay so you can get a feel for what this build has to offer, and then we'll come back and we'll check out the build in full detail. Remember, all my builds are used during live streams over on Twitch, and soon I will be doing weekly streams right here on YouTube. Look, if you are in the gameplay and you die, GG's, it's just a game. Thanks again to Spillo for the build advice, and also a quick shout out to the lads from EXH for helping me test the waters on this one. Enjoy the gameplay champions, and we will be back with the build shortly.
In a time when magic and mystery ruled, the trolls appeared.
Damn! If you're a boy and you want to know the craziest things that us girls do when we're down bad for a guy...
No thanks.
Hey, Jino, you going dumb. I'm going dumb, I'm trying to live it and start. Get anything that I want, whenever I want. It's okay to be broke, it's not okay to be a bump. Gotta move up, I never front. I keep it 100. Do it for fun, man, I do it for fun. Trying to build sound, no bricks. All I do is flip these beats, giving them smoke like weeds. All about the green like weed, and I wanna bloom like cheese. Spend a couple G's on my G's, spend 100 G's on my steeds. Treat my fans like fiends, gotta get them high and fixed. You know how I do this shit. Still in the hood like bumps, itching my palms. Money is a bitch, I'ma make her come. She got me sprung, and I want me some. Motivation part of my arm. I'm just glad to be alive another day under the sun. You can die young where I'm from, you can get lost where I'm from. Gotta be a bust where I'm from. Hey, Initiated. I'm going dumb, I'm going stupid. Music and drugs is the same that I'm using.
Well, and this is, you know what this is, where the good times happen.
I'm going dumb, I'm trying to live it and stunt. Get anything that I want, whenever I want. It's okay to be broke, it's not okay to be a bum. Gotta move up, I never front, I keep it 100, hun. Do it for fun, man, I do it for fun. If they went left, I ain't playing fair. Came from the bottom, I ain't staying here. God got me, that's my plan here. Broke, but I drip like the rain here. Smooth like butter, so I love that bread. M.O.B., I leave him on red. Go ahead, then I go get hit. B.I.M.B., I know what I said.
What happened there? How we doing?
I'm going dumb, I'm going stupid. Music and drugs is the same that I'm using. You wanna make a killing, then execute it. Wanna make a million, no excuses. I'm going dumb, I'm trying to live it and stunt. Get anything that I want, whenever I want. It's okay to be broke, it's not okay to be a bum. Gotta move up, I never front, I keep the 100, hun. Do it for fun, man, I do it for fun.
Get down, bitch!
Okay, flag up, they don't know it's me. Oh no, they knew.
That right there is emotional damage.
Kobe! Oh! Go to throw.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
Yeeted that, clipped it.
Auntie!
Shut the fuck up.
Are you 1Ving them now?
Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your family!
Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime. Yeah, I'm sorry for the wait. Didn't think I'd come up, y'all just need a little faith. I've been patient, just waiting on the river with an ace. Gotta move real careful, we coming surveying the place. I touched down in your city, that's a rival. Y'all got one thing on your mind, it's survival. But if you wanna take a shot at the title, call the medic, we checking your vitals. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime. Let me tell them one time. Said I'm all in my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, feeling real good, yeah, all in my prime. It's about that time, say your goodbyes, cause ain't no match for the way that I grind, yeah, I'm all in my prime. Prime time, we mile high, the gate closed. Same city as Royce and I mean Rose. It's flatbeds for the checks, that's a bank rolls. I've been killing it, I'm guilty, case closed. Yeah, y'all are too basic, my reputation, borderline amazing. Good things coming, they just need a little patience. Ready for whatever, all you gotta do is say when. In my eyes, when I rise, I visualize. I ain't ever taking a break, you taking 5. Even if I ain't got it, know that I'll make the time. On my next move by the time that the ink will dry. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime. Let me tell them one time. Said I'm all in my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, feeling real good, yeah, all in my prime. It's about that time, say your goodbyes, cause ain't no match for the way that I grind, yeah, I'm all in my prime.
Agent neutralized nearby.
Oh, I'm gonna get cooked here.
Hero is returning to base. Allied agent now rogue. now in effect.
Nice one, nice one.
Nearby agent has gone.
Hitman, you can't fucking do that, brother.
Today's gonna be one of the greatest days of your life if you choose to accept this challenge. What am I even saying?
Jeez, how bloody awesome was that? Righto, so welcome back to all you amazing subscribers, and if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. If everyone can take a second to engage with the video, a like, a share, a comment, it's all going to help with the magic and the wizardry of the YouTube algorithm. We've been absolutely destroying that 200 like goal, but I don't want to push my luck. Let's go for another 200 likes on this one. That would be sick. If you do want to support the channel a little bit further, please do check out our channel memberships. All you need to do is click the join button and see all the perks. And if you do want to catch me live in action, jump on over and drop a follow on Twitch, and also the links for all my other socials are in the description below. Righto champions, with that said and done, let's get in and check out the build. We've got 1 red, 5 blues, no skill tiers, and our armor is just over 1.7 million. The layout of the build's pretty simple. We're going for crit and we're going for regen. What makes this a bleed build is obviously our chest piece, the Ridgeway's Pride. This is going to be the hardest piece on the build to obtain. Other than that, we've gone with 2 pieces of Golan, 1 piece of Sokolov, a piece of Bellstone, and the Emperor's Guard knee pads. For our specialization, we're going to be using Firewall, primarily for that armor kit. There's also some other perks here that can come in handy, the extra damage to your teammates, and of course, the very underrated perk, Bull Rush, giving us 30% bonus armor during cover-to-cover moves. But to be honest with this setup, the specializations are pretty flexible. For our primary weapon, we are back with the CMMG Banshee. Now, based off some awesome feedback from our Bleeding Banshee build last week, I tested out a few different guns. The comments were screaming to try the MP7 and the Vector. Even though those high RPM guns had a lot of burst damage off the rip, they still didn't cut it for me. I've tried both of them out multiple times, and you still couldn't take a player down in one magazine. I honestly do feel like the balance of damage and RPM and mag size on the Banshee is the way to go. As you can see, we have got 12 expertise here. We're not going to take it any further, just so you know that those mid-tier players with expertise and SHD should be able to cut and paste this build. We've got SMG damage, crit hit chance, and you want to have damage to targets out of cover in that 3rd slot. Again, the talent that we're going for here is Sadist. Amplifies weapon damage by 20% to bleeding enemies. This is an insane amount of amplified damage just by being close range and bleeding targets. For the mods on this, we've gone with a crit hit damage scope, an extended magazine, crit hit chance underbarrel, and a crit hit damage muzzle. For your secondary weapon, use what you like, it's going to be player preference. However, I have been messing around with the Lady Death a little bit, just because by running around we gain stacks of amplified damage. So what I was testing out is if I use this as my primary to start off with, burst the mag, and then swap to the Banshee. Honestly, in some situations it worked, and in others I absolutely got shit on. Mostly for short range encounters I did prefer this combo, but for long range I just swapped this out to the St. Elmo's or something. Righto champions, now for the gear on the build. First up, we're going to be taking a look at our Golan mask. We have 2 pieces of Golan, so we're going to get 10% status effect and 1.5% regen. We've gone with max armor regen, crit hit damage, and a crit hit damage mod. For the chest piece, we've got the exotic Ridgeway's Pride. It comes with weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and we've got a crit hit damage mod. The talent is called Bleeding Edge. Shooting enemies within 15 meters applies a bleed to the target. This bleed repairs anywhere between 3 and 48% armor per second for every enemy that's bleeding within that 15 meters. So if 1 target's bleeding, that's 3%, 2, that's 6, 3, that's 12, 4 targets is 24, and if for some reason you're in a situation and there's 5, that's a huge 48% regen. Now, taking into consideration that we already have 3.5% regen on this build, just bleeding 1 target is going to give us 6.5%. So that takes us from our base 70k regen all the way up to a massive 121k regen per second. Obviously, this is going to increase the more players that you're encountering and can go all the way up to 900k regen. If you play it correctly, you can be absolutely godly. Unfortunately, I haven't perfected that yet. For our holster, we have one piece of Sokolov for that 10% SMG damage. We've got max armor, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage. You definitely could put armor regen on this piece, but I didn't want to have to farm for another item. Also, there's probably going to be players in the comments saying use the Picaros. We did test it out and the Sokolov hits harder. You are only sacrificing 5% weapon damage, but you are gaining more crit, and our armor's staying the same. For our knee pads, we've got the named Murakami, the Emperor's Guard. The skill duration isn't really doing much for us, but we've got armor, crit hit damage, and this item comes with a fixed 1% armor regen. Now, I did say previously that the chest piece would be the hardest item to get. I do apologise, this might be difficult for some. If you're not a frequent goer of the Dark Zone, this one might be a little bit tricky to get. The Emperor's Guard are DZ exclusives, so they're going to drop in the Dark Zone. However, you can still get them from named caches, conflict caches, and even legacy caches, as I do believe that they're a past season reward. And hey, keep an eye on my vendor reset videos, because if these things turn up, I'm gonna let you know. For our gloves, we've gone with Bellstone, and the Bellstone brand set gives us 1% armor regen. We've got max armor regen, and max crit hit damage. And lastly, for our backpack, we have our second piece of Golan, which is the named piece, the NX's Cookbook. It's got max armor, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and a crit hit damage mod. Again, if I wanted to, I could roll on some more regen here, but I feel like we had enough, so I've kept it how it is. Now the talent here is Perfectly Wicked. Applying a status effect increases your weapon damage by 18% for 27 seconds. There's no damage difference between normal Wicked and Perfectly Wicked, it's just the duration. So if you didn't have this named item and you just wanted to use the normal version of Wicked, you definitely could. But do keep in mind one of the main reasons that we're using this is for the second piece of Golan, which is going to give us more regen. Righto champions, so that is the build, and now for the skills, again, on these sorts of builds, it's all player preference. I like the Defender Drone, and I've also gone with the Decoy. You could definitely use a ton of different other skills, Fire Sticky, EMP Sticky, even use a Bleed Hive. It's all going to be up to you guys. Test out a few for yourself, and let me know in the comments which you prefer. Righto champions, it is now that time, it's fine print time, let's check out our stats. We are sitting at 54% crit hit chance and 163% crit hit damage. Don't forget we've also got the 10% damage to targets out of cover on our Banshee, and the talent Sadus will provide us with 20% amplified damage. Just taking a quick peek at the Lady Death here, we still are at 59% crit hit chance and 158% crit hit damage. And I didn't mention before, but I have also re-rolled this one to damage to targets out of cover. Our all weapon damage is at 37%, and we have 40% SMG damage. Remember, expertising your weapon further will increase these numbers. And to round it off, for the defensive stats, there you go, we are over 1.7 million in armor. We've also got a base armor regen of 70,000. So that's our base 3.5% armor regen on the build. Just bleeding one target is going to take us to 121k regen, and if we get 5 bleeding targets, that's an insane 900,000 regen per second. So that's the build champions, a bloody good regen build. Again, thanks to Spillo and McCain for clapping my cheeks on multiple occasions with their Ridgeways build and making me go out of my way to make these bleed builds. Ripping down players in the bloodiest way possible with an insane, like actually an insane amount of regen. But the most important thing is it's a lot of bloody fun. So what do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and have a crack at this build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in champions, and make sure that you show your support by smashing the like button on this video, and if you're not already, please subscribe. Everyone's support is always greatly appreciated, and remember to stay frosty, keep looting, shooting, and giving them hell. I do hope to catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.